What if I told you a coach in the middle of a game, high school game, walks up to a player, punches him in the stomach in front of everybody? Yes, he does get arrested in the middle of the game. Let's put up the picture for a mask. That's exactly what I saw in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Benjamin E. Mays High School. A coach for Benjamin E. Mays High School is being accused of punching one of his players during a game on Sunday afternoon. This was a crowded game. The incident happened during the first quarter of the school's game against Douglas County High School at the Eddie S. Henderson Stadium in Midtown Atlanta. The Mays coach was seen screaming at the player on the sidelines before he appeared to punch the high schooler in the stomach. The player can be seen after the strike, stumbling backwards and then doubling over, holding himself in pain. The coach continued to yell at the player as the high schooler tried to recover from the sneak attack. Now that coach has been arrested for the incident and removed from his coaching duties, according to the school district. An Atlanta public school spokesperson said this was a lay coach. I'm going to explain that in just a moment. They're trying to minimize the coach's connection. This was a lay coach who physically assaulted a player. The coach was removed from the sidelines by an APS police officer and taken into custody. Now you would think, all right, a lay coach, that sounds like, I don't know, a volunteer coach, maybe a parent coach. No, a lay coach is someone who does work directly for the school system. They simply do not teach in the classroom. That's all that means. So they utilize this terminology, got a lot of people thinking, well, this wasn't even a real coach. The hell he wasn't. He was an absolute real coach. You think the not real coach goes up and punches a high school student in the stomach and no one says anything? No, that's the coach, okay? There's more. Spokesman Seth Coleman, and Seth is a good guy, I know Seth, said in a statement sent to Atlanta News First, quote, a lay coach for Mays High School who is not a classroom instructor is now in police custody after an incident that occurred on the sideline during the school's game this afternoon against Douglas County High School. The lay coach will be charged with simple battery and face administrative charges from the district. Coleman also told Atlanta News First that the person does not hold a teaching certificate. They are required to complete the Georgia High School Association training program. The safety and well-being of all APS students remains a high priority for the district, and all APS employees are held to the highest standard of conduct and professionalism. The statement continued. Let's put up the picture again of the scene in which he's assaulting a student. Now, for a coach to be comfortable enough in the middle of a game to do this in front of everybody, and one, the high schooler is not shocked. I mean, he doesn't have it. This is not a natural response. If you go up and randomly punch a high school student in the stomach, and this is not normative action from that person, this is a totally different response. The players did not have an immediate response. The only people that had a response, obviously, the individuals who saw it for the first time. They said, well, that coach just assaulted a kid. Now, one needs to be called, and that's what happened. There needs to be an exhaustive investigation, Mr. Coleman, into this coach, and if there are other victims of his abuse. Now, I know some of you would say, oh, Doc, lighten up. The coach is trying to teach them to be tough. You know why the coach punched him? Because the coach is weak. Who punches a child in the stomach because of a damn game? Not only are you teaching them an adverse lesson, you are showing them what false strength looks like. That man is not strong. That man is a feckless leader, in my opinion, and got exactly what he deserved. A ride to the jailhouse, public ridicule, and fired. All right, Wosny, thoughts?
Yeah, I'd like to see that gentleman absolutely learn from this horrible event that he caused. But what I would say to the viewers, if there happen to be any high school football players or athletes out there, or you might have a son or niece or nephew, first of all, no physical or verbal abuse should ever be tolerated for any reason. I think sometimes athletes think they need to go to a certain school, play for a certain coach to make sure their future, if they're taking the sport very seriously, is secure. And so they're willing to tolerate a certain level of uncomfortability that can verge on abuse or outright physical abuse. In this case, what I would say to everybody is that if you are talented, they will find you wherever you are. So there's no reason to go to any particular school or play for any particular coach. If you have the goods, these people in colleges and pros or wherever, they will find you no matter what. So there's absolutely never any reason to deal with this type of nonsense, man. Yeah. And again, and I'm not gonna do the get off my lawn type of thing where it's like, oh, you should go somewhere where everybody's kissing your ass. I'm not saying that people should throw rose petals at your feet. Yes, you should wanna be challenged, but at no point should you be subject yourself to physical or verbal abuse of any kind from a coach. And any real coach who has any real talent, human empathy and understanding would know not to cross those boundaries. And so that's what I would say about that.
That's right, very well said. And I will offer this also. Social media has become a great equalizer to expose good talent. Utilize it, all right, to your advantage.